On this incredible adventure in South Africa, I finally got the chance to dive with great whites, which had been at the top of my bucket list.
That is the shot! I've got the shot! You're going to love this!
While I was thrilled that my wife Steph could join me for the sharks,
I really thought I wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just so chuffed I did. Fantastic.
I know tonight's stage of our journey
Oh my God!
will tick her bucket list as well.
I've welled up.
And this trip will be more than just a safari.
Watching rhinos from the inside of a car is one thing. It's all got really rather serious now.
As I'm going to take part in a life-changing experience.
Hold it there, hold it there.
An anti-poaching operation on a rhino.
All of these people, everything here, to help save one rhino.
Welcome to Founder's Lodge, home for our first ever safari.
5:30 in the morning and a very big day ahead. You ready?
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Why can I hear the Out of Africa music in my head?
To get this deep into the veld, we travelled 500 miles from Cape Town, first by plane to Port Elizabeth, and then by road. But for the next stage of our journey, there are no roads, as we go in search of rhino.
Bearing in mind how endangered the rhino is, trying to spot one is really very difficult. Got Will, who is a rhino expert, in the back of the car to help us sweep the plane and see whether or not we can find one of these incredible creatures. But it's not easy.
South Africa is full of amazing animals, but there are two in particular that fascinate me, and the rhino is one of them. So we're traversing the Amakhala Game Reserve,
Oh God, I'm just scanning me.
where Dr. Will Folds is the vet.
Stuff on the top here.
And we'll need all his expertise to find the rhinos in an area the size of almost 12,000 football pitches.
Hallelujah. There we go. Look, there's some grey blobs there. Moving away from us.
Fancy a game of Spot the Rhino? They're there somewhere.
Oh my God, how the hell did you spot them?
Gonna have to give me a go.
Quite hard to spot. It's exactly where I am looking now. Ready? And there you go. Got him?
I've got a tree. Hang on, I think I might, yeah.
You got him?
Yeah, I got him. Oh my word.
South Africa is home to both black and white rhino, but once they become aware of us, how close will we get to this crash of white rhino?
Oh my God.
Time to be a little sneaky and walk very quietly.
They've got a bit skittish, so let's just...
Oh no.
Sharper than I thought. They picked us up. While they're running, you see how they run. They've just got this bounce in their feet. Not like elephants that shuffle along. They can really get onto a gallop like a horse.
They do, don't they?
And the trouble is now the wind is behind us.
Now the wind's behind
air
us,
is
so
full of all of us.
All of us. We can give them 5 minutes and try from the other side. If that doesn't happen, we've got to go and find a fresh group.
I never thought I'd get that close to them. How endangered are they?
Unfortunately, at this stage in rhino conservation, we now lose more rhino than we can breed. We've now gone over the tipping point, and at this rate, extinction is inevitable. It's just a matter of time. So we have to pull back the rate of poaching.
The 3 rhinos we can see, what are they worth?
Probably $300,000 on one animal. These horns now go into a product production line, and the center part of that horn is used for things like beads and ornamental purposes, and that actually fetches the highest value now.
And it's hair.
It's keratin. It's exactly the same as our fingernails and the hair on some of our heads. Yeah.
And are you outnumbered by the poachers?
Absolutely. There's no shortage of people that are poor and desperate now. And if people keep on buying these products at the rate of increase that we are seeing, these animals will be extinct in the wild in 15 to 20 years.
And how does that make you feel?
The privilege of doing what I'm doing with you today, with my children, with all respect, is something that gives me an enormous thrill in my life. And the thought of not being able to do that one day is unbearable.
Unfortunately, these rhino are now wary of us.
When they get a bit anxious, they curl their tails. I think we can find another group here somewhere.
And true to his word, Will manages to track down another crash.
Oh, that baby is so cute.
God, we saw a baby.
That little baby, I'm guessing, is about 6 months old.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're the cutest little things.
It's an exact replica, but diddy.
Pocket version.
Pocket
version.
size.
She's having a little sparring session with the auntie. Priceless little things.
What a lovely thing to watch. That baby is so adorable.
What a treat.
So amazing. Thank you, Will.
Next, it's back to Founders for a spot of breakfast.
Oh,
Oh, are you joking?
Literally in the bush.
I love it.
Do you get much passing trade? This is
Oh,
incredible.
yes, please.
Cheers.
Breakfast.
It's possibly the best place I've ever had breakfast.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'll drink to that.
No surprise there, then.
After the perfect breakfast, Ranger Philip offers to fulfill our dreams to see our first tower of giraffes.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's welled up. I can't believe it.
Oh, my God. I just love giraffes.
So I'm going to cry when I see everything. It's going to be ridiculous.
Sensing our excitement about the giraffes, Ranger Philip has a treat in store, approaching them on foot.
My word.
We're out here in the wild, and all you've got is a stick.
It's a pretty big stick.
It's not big enough.
Could there be animals in the grass? Like snakes?
You are in Africa, so yes.
Yes, okay. Spiders? No, don't answer that.
I didn't think you wanted an answer for that.
No, don't answer.
Heading directly for the giraffes could alarm them, so Philip's technique is to approach in a zigzag from the side.
I just want to do is just let them get used to our presence. They are watching us, but they're not uncomfortable
They're not
enough that they'll...
bothered, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
What has he got in his mouth? It looks like he's smoking a pipe.
Piece of bone.
Really?
Yeah. Giraffes. That's the one thing that they lack in their diet is calcium, and that's how they get it.
So they'll pick up a bone of anything that's laying on the ground.
And they'll just grind it down to get some calcium into the diet. This is the bone the giraffe was chewing on just now. You can clearly see the saliva still on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And there you can see the marks from the teeth grinding it down. Look at that.
Perfectly clean. How's that? No?
No, thank you very much.
Stick with the milk?
One thing we learned from Head Ranger Wayne is that even out here, you have to observe the rules of the road, especially zebra crossings.
Could you get out of the way? Oh, all right, then, please yourself. No need for that.
Prepare for Wayne to dazzle you with his knowledge of zebras.
Why do they call it a dazzle of zebra?
Predators' main focal point is black and white. When you look at zebras, you see the stripes across their forequarters. Then going across the hindquarters, they run off at 45 degrees. So you basically got that. And what happens is when you got all these zebra together and they start running, you start getting this action, this movement of the stripes, which if you only seen in black and white, basically dazzles the lines. So the zebras have got to stay together as much as possible. The moment one breaks off, or the moment somebody lags behind, they will get taken.
It's got a touch of Jurassic Park about it, hasn't it? You drive through, just everything laid out in front of you, and just passing through their world.
What an incredible experience. How can we top that? The answer, by turning our safari into an adventure.
Your job is to fit the tracking device.
As I'm privileged to help an anti-poaching operation.
And this thing is unfortunately what it's all about.
Just extraordinary to think that causes so much devastation.
Me and my wife Steph are on our first ever safari.
Oh my God!
We've seen our favourite animals in the wild, including this beautiful baby rhino.
It's an exact replica, but Diddy.
But now, Dr. Will Folds, vet for the Amakhala Game Reserve and renowned rhino expert, is offering us a unique experience.
Watching rhinos from the inside of a car is one thing. It's all got really rather serious now because part of the conservation effort is to make sure that they know where the rhinos are, to track them. And so Will has asked me if I would like to accompany the team to put a tracker on a rhino that they're going to dart.
Sadly, rhino horns are incredibly valuable to poachers. So trackers help the anti-poaching units find and protect these vulnerable creatures in the vast reserves they live in. Time for me to join the operation briefing, and of course the safety of the rhino and humans involved is paramount.
The worst thing that can probably happen today is that she ends up in a drunken state going down into water, and then we're going to be in trouble. If she actually gets into water, we need everyone underneath her head so we can keep her nose out of water, and then we just wake her up as quick as we can.
Meanwhile, wildlife vet Dr. Emily Baxter has this important safety note.
To add a spanner in the works, the male lion is in that river line.
The male lion is
Yes.
down there?
Yeah. So don't just focus on the rhino, think about the things that might eat you also.
Okay. Yeah, no. I'll be thinking very carefully about that.
With the briefing almost complete, we come to my part.
We're going to put it on her front right leg,
Yep.
just above her wrist. Make sure it's not too tight and not too loose. Okay.
As we head into position on the ground, Will is already in the air and closing in on the rhino.
The rhinos are just down there. Will is in the helicopter with the dart gun. He's just tranquilized the rhino, who is now, you can see, running towards us. They want to drive her up this way because there's a river line down there, and the last thing they want is the rhino in the water tranquilized.
Using the helicopter, Will shepherds the rhino into the safest position.
This is extraordinary. 2 rhinos running straight for us. That's a hell of a view.
Actually shaking like a leaf.
Yeah.
See, she's picking her feet up a lot higher.
Yeah. Oh, you can see she really is starting to stumble.
She's almost starting to look like a pony.
Yeah.
Copy. Yeah, let's go to her. Go.
So what's happened here? The dart hasn't quite penetrated all the way, so we've got a little bit of drug that's ended up underneath the skin, and it's taking longer for her to go down.
To minimize the rhino's stress and stimulation, Will has covered her eyes with a blindfold and used earplugs.
Okay, mind she's going to fall now. And we'll just get out the way. Let's keep her on her side for a bit. Keep her on her side.
This rhino is Temba, which means trust. And as Will and his team begin to check her, in the distance, her friend Lindiwe, which fittingly means the patient one, keeps an eye on us.
She's really attached to this girl, and she was very ill 10 months ago. Every time we worked on her, this friend used to just come and watch us. We just need to keep her from a chopper, eh?
But even as Lindiwe looks on, Will and his team are concerned Temba is reacting badly to the anesthetic and starts to shake.
Once we get an IV line going, we're going to begin to just lighten the anesthetic a little bit so she's in a less dangerous position with her blood oxygen, and then we can begin to work on her.
1, 2, 3, yep.
All of these people, everything here, to help save one rhino.
Okay, hold her there, let's just fix this leg. Right, Jake, sort that leg out. This is a traumatic event we put rhinos through, which is a sad thing to have to do. The reason for it is because they're under so much threat.
In South Africa, a rhino is killed every 8 hours. However, despite having their horns brutally hacked off, some survive, but the suffering is heartbreaking. Will's expertise means that some do survive, but others, sadly, are not as fortunate.
So utterly broken that we haven't been able to give him that life that he deserves.
Despite losing the battle to save this rhino, Will's war against the poachers continues.
And this thing is, unfortunately, what it's all about.
Just extraordinary that it goes for such a high price and causes so much devastation.
Okay, time to do my part to combat poaching.
This is the narrowest part, so just below the wrist. That.
Okay.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. So the important thing here is we don't want this to restrict any blood supply. It's got to be loose enough for mobility. Unfortunately, down on the bottom of their feet here, there's a lot of wear and tear. So they've got to be really robust pieces of equipment.
You rely on donations to provide trackers like this?
It's one of the many expenses. You know, this is an arms race, so the better we get at protecting them, the higher the price of the product seems to go, and the more incentive people have to poach them. Ultimately, the solution here lies in getting consumers to stop buying the product. But in the meantime, we've got to keep as many of these magnificent animals alive as we possibly can.
Well, I'm happy to abort that tracker.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Keep her safe.
But my work hasn't finished.
Wow, that's hard. That is incredible.
There you go.
And then in?
Yep.
Will actually lets me loose with a syringe full of antibiotics.
Good stuff.
Good job.
I'm just going to stand here for a while with my finger. Nope, still not ready. I'm just going to stand here until I'm happy. Dr. Schofield is happy. It's all the antibiotics are going to stay in there. Nope, still not. Just going to stand here for a minute.
And my incredible day just keeps getting better and better as the entire team gets a huge boost from this.
She's pregnant. What?
Okay, so Philip, the good news, we managed to get an ultrasound probe into her, and she's definitely pregnant, which is great news.
Temba has been through a traumatic day. But with rhinos fighting for their very survival, news like this gives us hope for the future.
It's quite surprisingly emotional.
Now, with Lindiwe watching, just one more job. Wake her up.
Okay, so all done. Everything's out. Okay, let's get back to vehicles, please, everyone.
truly a spectacular day. Things I never thought I would see. So what better way to finish it with a G&T and my favourite animals watching on in the background.
Come to see us. Say good evening.
Well, there we go. That's the end of the adventure. There's Cape Point behind us. Next stop after that is Antarctica, and we ain't going there. So what a stunning country.
Yeah, brilliant times. It's been amazing.
Gonna take some time to do the things we never had.
Way! People superb.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Oh, like it.
I'm having such a lovely afternoon, I can't tell you.
The animals, unbelievable.
Oh, that's amazing.
I just love giraffes.
A really spectacular adventure. As they say in South Africa, find your wild. I think we found ours.
Yeah, we did.